Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Divinity Original Sin 2. As you can no doubt see by my characters, I changed all their armor. Excuse me. So I've gotten rid of all of the Tyrant set of the Red Prince. I'm now wearing Alexander's robes plus a bunch of other stuff that I was keeping for the scenario when I take off all the other stuff. We've also got a new wand called Nightbane, which is quite good. I've added a physical rune to it, so I'm doing some physical damage with my wand as well, if I ever attack my wand, which should be rare. But it gives me critical chance, which is really good, and intelligence, which is really good. And for Loisa, I've just kind of upgraded her with stuff that we've picked up along the way. She's not fantastic, but she's not horrible. But that's about it. So, we can leave Act 1 now. I think there was like a grand total of like one fight I didn't do. But I'm okay with leaving it because it has literally no consequence. And it's a bit of experience for not much else. Also, when I loaded the save again, the rain started again. I don't know why, but I'm sure it's fine.
Let's go.
Board the boat.
Malady grabs the vessel with two hands and pushes it into the water. She hops on board behind you.
God-woken. Wait till she finds out.
Salty water mists your face. Your skin prickles in bright, warm sunlight. The boat bobs forward through the water, and Fort Joy shrinks behind you.
That is technically Act 1 complete.
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
As Solstice said, you don't have any friends. Betray them. Well, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what Solstice told us to do. In fact, she told us to kill Loisa immediately. There's no point in even stringing her along, apparently.
Yes, this might be
A light sea breeze kisses your cheek and carries away the smell of blood wafting up from the deck. In the distance, Fort Joy looms.
I'll be damned if I ever set
Oops,
foot on that
I need to read
island
that.
again. Don't care who I have to bury. Onward now. The sooner Fort Joy disappears from the horizon, the better.
Alright, sweet. Alright, now we can talk to Solara.
well. This
Excuse me.
is a fine sight. Utterly barbaric, of course, destroying a tree and turning it into a boat. Grotesque, but well, look at it, Quercus. A floating nest, surrounded on all sides by salt water, pure poison to a tree's root. The great acorn could never reach us out here. Well, yes, of course we'll continue our research, Quercus. We're not monsters. Still, I must admit, you were right about the shield. It proved to be more than adequate.
Bow to the squirrel. He's very welcome.
Oh, yes, it seems our shield is still here, Quercus. How does something so large and ungainly sneak up on a person? You give the giants too much credit, Quercus. I think the salty air has addled your mind.
He doesn't have lungs.
It has certainly been useful, but elegant, kind, surprisingly attractive.
I like Quercus.
No, we have no time for your fawning. We may be safe, but the world is not. Come, we must return to our research.
Good on you. So there's a lot of dead guys here.
Lord, so close to escaping.
He was one of the guys we healed, I believe. Another dead seeker over here. Lots of dead people. Which has the added benefit that I can loot them all, but sad. There's a book there, interestingly. It's Kerbin over here. He was another one.
I remember this one. His name was Kerbin. His friend's sword couldn't save him. It would appear.
This is the sword that we, like, sort of smack the blade off to make it a shorter, sharper sword. Turned it into a dagger, essentially. On the plus side, he had some stuff. It's a shame. I don't know whether or not it's always the same dead guys here, or whether or not it randomizes who dies in the Seeker fight. I'm not actually sure, but I remember Kerbin dying fairly frequently. Mattis died here as well. It's gonna take too long to get up there otherwise.
Don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive.
Stand aside, I'll go where I please.
I would not advise that. The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us. It's hewn from elven livewood. I thought I could communicate with it, but...
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment.
My condolences.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead.
I'll be careful.
Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you die, then this was all for nothing.
Did you learn anything useful? Before it attacked, that is.
Nothing. The ship is livewood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what.
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea.
And spot a mark at the side of the figurehead. It's a living scar, like the elven slaves had back home.
At that moment, the ship serendipitously creaks beneath you, almost like it is acknowledging your observation.
Maeve's warning is still fresh in my mind. Decide not to risk it, as of yet. I have foreknowledge about that, which is why I'm not going to touch it. Simone survived.
Think, damn it. Where would a Magister hide something?
Gareth is up here. We can go talk to.
Spare me,
There we are.
Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
How many died?
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive.
I killed him.
Apparently, you didn't hit hard enough.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive.
Better get a move on before the Order realizes he's still at
Yes, we
large.
certainly had better, but the ship won't move.
She's mute. We need to free her tongue.
I've never known a ship to speak in the first place.
This is barbarous magic.
Expedient magic, actually. The ship is made of live wood. It has the spirit of an elven ancestor tree within it. It seems Dallas has found a way to bind that spirit to her.
It's clever.
That means only she can control it. Unless we can find a way to break the bond.
Any leads?
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they?
Smile and say you're still waiting to find out what she does other than standing around being smug.
Hopefully, you'll never have to find out.
We can't get this ship moving, Godwoken. We have every free hand looking into it. Help, if you can.
I will. Gareth. I think he sells a spell that I want.
Worm Killer, Godwoken. You have many names. Let's add ship's captain to the list once we get this thing moving, shall we?
Can't wait to get moving, but what's our destination?
Driftwood, of course. Little fishing village. Not very welcoming, but you'll brighten it up, I'm sure. Got family near there. Not the adventuring types. For the best, really. Meister Siever's there too. One of your kin. My leader. Our leader. She held the Seekers together when we had every reason to fall apart.
Meister Siever. What makes her so special?
Think of her as a teacher. The powers of the Seven stir in you. She'll reveal them to you. Show you how to manipulate them.
Mention his spat with Malady.
I won't let the fallen be forgotten. I'd be no better than Dallas, no better than Alexander, if I just tossed their remains into the sea. To think that whelp spawned from greatness. He deserves no better fate than his silent monks. All this blood. Children ripped from families. Seekers ripped from me. He's down there now, guarded like some precious jewel, rather than leashed and flogged like the dog he is. Amazing to think those of us in the Order once assumed the gods were with him, and only him. That was before we found the others.
What others?
Other Godwoken. When Lucian died, we waited, and waited some more. Alexander never rose to divinity. Then we started to find more like him. We weren't the only ones who noticed either. Not every Godwoken we found was alive. And so the Seekers were born. We found Godwoken, housed them, fed them. I loved them like family. I was naive. But let's leave the past in the past and reach for what's ahead.
Ask about Melody. She spoke as if she weren't a Seeker.
She's not. Well, not in the strictest sense. She's not exactly an elf either. Half demon, Meister Siever says, and I don't doubt it. I don't know how Siever came to know her, but Malady's a proper ally. She's not easy to like, but there are times I admire her coldness.
Gareth fingers the hilt of his blade. He stares at nothing in particular before turning his gaze back to you.
It's a good narration there. He does indeed have some spells that I may want.
There must be some way to get this ship.
Fortify, particularly, is something I very much want. Men Metal, maybe. I don't necessarily care about Men Metal, but probably worth having. Probably want Bouncing Shield as well. Sure.
Keep Lucian close, Godwoken.
Thank you, Gareth. So those spells are going to go to... what's her name, eventually.
We're lucky to have made it this far. But our luck will be for nothing if this ship doesn't take sail soon.
So Jules survived. That's something, I guess. Hey, Melody.
What is it, Red?
Tell Melody the figurehead is branded with a living scar, the type your kin used to control its slaves.
Naughty lizards. I wouldn't have taken that rune on the figurehead as a slave scar myself. Well done. We'll need to find the song that'll control it then. Well, you'll need to.
A few things I'd like to ask.
Dying to hear them.
Earlier on the beach, you mentioned someone who wanted to meet you, the Meister. Who did she mean?
Meister Siever is one of a rare breed. She'd do anything in the name of a cause, and her cause happens to be you. She's desperate to meet a living Godwoken. She'll be exceedingly pleased we're en route. We'd better not leave her waiting. She's a bit particular.
You didn't actually answer the question. Who is she?
She's the founder of these Seekers, and she's powerful. That means something when I say it. Your kind can reach astounding heights. Meister Siva can help you do just that.
So essentially, she's a powerful sorcerer. Where are we going?
A place called Driftwood, host to putrid fish, putrid dwarves, and Meister Siva herself. You'll probably find it quite comfortable.
Fair enough. Alright, let's head downstairs. First things first, something that's worth noting, if you want to pick up your companions, you have to do it here by talking to them again. It's fairly easy. Also, worth noting, you have a storage chest here, which you can store anything you want in. That's useful for those who want to keep, like, some cool stuff. I'll take the wood. There's some silent monks back here.
The silent monk leans from one foot to the other. He seems eager to move. The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes. She seems eager for you to say something.
It's not a great fate. Hey, Exeter.
We have to find a way to get this ship moving. We can't let the Magisters catch up with us. We're too weak to fight them again.
He's not wrong. Didn't really have anything I want. Except for the Stardust Herb, but I don't know whether it's worth buying. 490? I mean, honestly, it probably is worth buying, but, like... just going through and looking for some junk that I don't need. Like that. I nearly got the price up there just by selling some junk, so... I guess it probably was worth it. Nothing here I care about. This beast over here, I'm not going to talk to him. Fane here. Leia is up here.
Melody says if we can get the ship to move, we can go home. Home!
She's the one who took the collar off her neck. Well, took the collar off... Loisa's neck. What the hell is happening? Just speak to Dugan, please.
All that fighting will be worth less than nothing if we can't get this tub moving.
He's not wrong. I don't think there's anything particularly special here. I'm searching all these... chests just in case there's something good, because I think they're all randomized, but doesn't seem to be anything particularly interesting. But Beast is here if he was your companion, so you can pick him up from there. Fane is also back there. As I said, I'm not going to bother talking to them because they're not my companion.
There's something to these doors I'm not seeing. But what?
Samadel is here, so you can buy fire spells. And also made it.
Hey! You're here! Pretty nice boat, eh? We got an upgrade. There's got to be another way to get it going, but we can't find a way into Dallas's room. Maybe you can see something we can't.
Special living wood tree. Living wood door in a living wood tree. This woman here will actually allow you to hire, like, generic characters. It's odd. I don't know really why she exists. But you can, like, you can hire underlings, essentially. In the middle here is a mirror that allows you to respec. Sabile is over here. And down here is Lusa. What's up, Lusa?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere? So, we've got quite the task on our hands, haven't we? I have to admit, the whole thing is very intriguing.
Tell you don't know what tell you don't know what chapter will come next, but you hope she'll join you in finding out.
The old band back together again, hmm? I guess that depends, doesn't it? Look at me. Hard. What do you see?
Losa leans back slightly. thin arms crossed in front of her chest, and stares at you defiantly from dark eye sockets, darker and deeper set than when you first met. She blows back a lock of white hair, matted with sweat and grime, and holds back a smile from the corners of her lips.
Till you see a nice young lady in need of a nice long bath.
Seriously? Look at me. I look like lukewarm death. This isn't a joke anymore. You see that, don't you? Your god wants me dead. My god? Devil? Who knows? It wants me. It's getting stronger and I need to outpace it. I want to make sure you understand, well, the risks.
So you understand them fully, she should join you anyway.
You'll do what you have to do, right? If I fail, if this thing takes control, you'll protect yourself and everyone else against it, even if it means killing me.
Tell her you did it before when she went against the elves of Halo, remember?
Do I ever? Still sore from that one. At the time, I wanted you to defend me. I didn't realize how bad things had gotten. I know better now. Something like that happens again, you do what needs to be done. Deal?
Deal.
Well, all right then.
She pinches your cheek, a sparkle in her dim grey eyes.
I knew I could count on you to murder me in a pinch.
No problem.
Let's go, Chief.
Cool. So we have Constance here.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the bloody divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
Note that she seems to be in some pain. Was she injured while during taking the ship?
I wish. No, the Magisters kept me chained to the bulkhead. Arms held above my head, feet barely able to touch the deck.
That would suck.
Now my joints are paying the price.
Tell her to open the gate. You want to find out if the prisoners know how to get this ship moving.
Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood.
Say that you have to try and demand she unlock the gate.
All right then, just don't make me regret it.
Do you sell anything? Not really.
Hope you find something useful.
I will.
A young Magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot. So stow your questions, lizard.
Need to get this ship moving now. She must know something.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
Diplomatically raise your hand, say she doesn't have to tell you anything, just has to
The
listen.
Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance.
Point to Alexander and tell her that she ought to not antagonize their captors, or she could wind up with the Divine's blood on her hands by proxy.
There's a shift in the Magister's expression, a flicker of doubt. Then,
I'm a good Magister, loyal. But Dallas, something about her has changed. She's toying with dark magic, like a common sorcerer. She used to sing to the ship. It let her control it.
Yeah, I know that. That's how you control slave
She had
scars.
this old book of hymns and incantations. It was only ever in her hands, or else locked away in her cabin at the stern. That's all I know.
Fair enough.
Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the Divine.
Back away. I have important matters to attend.
All right. Don't harm him. I'll be watching.
I'm really tempted to kill him, to be honest.
Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle.
Take a good look at his face. I'm kind of listening to this conversation in the background too.
A shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop.
His hands.
Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells.
Looks closely at the simple
A
regalia.
beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope.
Slip the gem from his neck and place it in your
The
pocket.
gem sits heavily in your pouch.
Take your leave.
Magister Ranley.
It's very tempting to kill him again,
The bell can't be unrung.
to be honest. That was weird.
You spoke, didn't you? Ha! I knew you would eventually.
Magister Ranley. Corker's mate.
Too late for that now, Red. The bell can't be unrung.
Yoinked. I don't know why I felt the need to steal from a sleeping Magister, but I did. A sleeping Alexander, but I did. I don't even need the bloody healing potion. I'll take it though. Alright. So we're nearly at the point where I think we're good to finish. However, what I will do...
I found something.
Floorboard. That's intriguing. I don't think I've ever had the wits to be able to do that. Or at least I don't ever remember doing that. I found there's a thing under this floorboard apparently. Good to know.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice it's unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection.
The old text spoke of doors like this. Disputtostiums? Disputtostiums? I don't know. Place your palm against the door.
The wood groans and creaks. A face appears in the wood, tortured and tormented. A six-sided indentation is carved on its forehead, as if a gem or amulet had made a mark there. The face vanishes.
Knock on the door.
The thud of your fist upon the wood resonates deeper than you'd expected it to. It turns into what sounds like a...
Interesting.
No entry allowed. Please use the port side door. Listen up so I don't have to repeat myself again. I am not an entry door.
Tell the door your password seems to have been changed. Ask to be reminded.
Fine. Answer the security question.
Tell it before you can answer you'll need it to give you the password.
The password is fortitude.
Good to know.
Now, answer the security question.
The face in the door is confused for a moment.
Drat. No entry.
So that's an exit door. So we have to come into this door, but we can trick that dumb door into letting us in this one.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. The wood groans, the face vanishes.
Same as the last one. State the password fortitude.
The door remains closed. It seems you need more than a password. The door remains unmarked.
Hold the gem out.
The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and...
Hold the gem to the six-sided figure on the figure's forehead.
A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password.
State the password fortitude.
Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
Nice. And with that, there's a man in here, Tarquin. We'll talk to him later. When I say later, I mean next episode, because that's going to be it. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. As always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Well, we're going to have a fairly big battle next episode. It's also going to be a fairly long episode. Alright, thanks guys, I'll see you next time.